England last played in Avignon 12 months, or rather France last played in Avignon 12 months ago. And this glorious walled city is a fantastic venue for rugby league, and they have certainly come out in their droves here tonight, have the French. The English are ahead by 20 points to 6 at half-time. 14,500 people were here last year to see France beat Ireland 58-24 in their European Championship match. They looked set for this year's Four Nations competition, but then a 12-11 defeat by Wales in Albi cost them their place and gave Wales their big chance, which starts next week at the Leigh Sports Village against this England team that is desperate to try and find some form ahead of the tournament. And in patches, a little bit like the Curate's egg, Steve-O, they were good in parts in that first half.
Yeah, it certainly is, and they'll probably be boosted as well, because Bobby Golding looks as though he's thrown on the youngster Pelissier. The hooker is a very talented player indeed, and he'll give them a little bit more action in and around the play of the ball area. They needed that, but as I mentioned before the kickoff, the big problem is out on the wings. Their defence, their positional sense is not very good at the moment.
England get the second half underway then, and underneath the kickoff was Dane Chisholm. Tips the ball infield to David Ferriol, the opening set of 6 of this second half, and the French moving the ball down that left-hand side. Jean-Philippe Bale gets the ball wide, and this is a good run from Vackery. Gets the French to halfway in the second tackle. They've come out of the traps, and they've started strongly, the French.
A lot more urgency shown there.
It's Thomas Bosk. He showed it to Ferriol. This is this Cyril Stakoul. His dummy half again is this Matthias Pala. Finds Chisholm and Ferriol. It's the last tackle here, the opening set of 6 of this second half. There's Pelissier. Bosk goes to the air with the kick. Ball is underneath it. He nearly spilled it, but he didn't. He's tackled, though, by Sebastian Ragan. Let's go down to Bill, because he's got England's Danny Maguire with him.
Thanks, Eddie. Danny, that's so far a very good night for England in quite a number of respects. Points on the board, but a lot of defensive work done as well.
Yeah, I think defensively we've been very strong. You know, France have turned up tonight, and you know, they really showed a lot of enthusiasm, and you know, it's been tough for the boys, but you know, I think defensively we've been in our game, and you know, a few nice tries toward the back end, and obviously 20 points in the first half, and you know, hopefully we can score a few more points in the second half.
And as expected, on home soil with a lot of the Catalan Dragons there, the French have been physical.
Yeah, they have, and you know, any time you play against the Catalans or a French team, you know it's going to be a battle up the middle. People like Ferriol and Castillo are real aggressive forwards, but you know, I think our boys in the middle have really fronted up and done a real good job, and hopefully now in the second half it's time for the backs to have a go and you know, put some points on the board.
What do you made of the newcomers?
Yeah, I think the ball had a big impact. You know, Jack started off really well, putting Hall in for his try, and you know, Rangis showed some lovely touches, and you know, Chris Hinton being very strong in the middle, so you know, real good signs for the team.
I know, Danny, you're a big brass band fan. What do you think of the Pistons, Delaba, who are playing behind us and have been all game?
Yeah, I think they're very good, but I think you know, the Grind Folk Colliery band are more my type.
Yeah, thanks, Danny.
Well said, Danny Maguire. And we just managed to hear him amongst all that noise from the band, didn't we? What did Bill call them? Did anyone catch the name? This is Sam Tompkins here for England. The Pistons de l'Arbre. You'll know all about them, Brian.
Drunken French translation.
Now here is a penalty, I think, for England. Messing around by Elima.
What he called held, and they wouldn't let go of him. You can see there Jean-Philippe Bale on a pull, and here it is. Tompkins is pretty adept at that, isn't he? Hanging on to the defenders' shirts.
And he actually he moved away from that, and he's limping a bit, is Sam Tompkins. Now this is Morley for England. 18th cap for England, adding to the 30 he won for Great Britain as well. Rangi Chase on his first appearance for his adopted country. Yeaman, Tompkins, good hands. It's Briscoe again. And Briscoe will cut in field. Beat 3 men on the run then.
Good feet, nice step. Knew he'd know where passage out on that left-hand side.
Chase again, just pops it up to Jamie Jones-Buchanan. And Sinfield trying to spin out of tackles. Can't do so, but England with plenty in the bank here, and Roby comes this left-hand side again. Yeaman hits it with pace. Good tackle required by Vincent Duport. Roby once again. Slides the kick in, tries to, it bounces and ricochets off the leg. 6 to go for England. They're going to get another set of 6 here. Graham was the dummy half, found Wilkin, found Sinfield, who in turn has found Rangi Chase. Chase gets it wide this time to Jack Reed. Run from, oh, he just lost the ball. He's almost knocked out of his hand, actually, but it was one-on-one.
To be fair, Reed was looking for support there, and there really wasn't anybody coming through. They thought the tackle perhaps, oh, that's great defence. Absolutely wonderful. That will please the coach, Steve McNamara.
It's a goal line dropout. Reed and Morley with a great leg drive here.
Certainly is. He's disappointed as Jack Reed. He knew that he'd lost possession, but he certainly made up for it there. A little bit of a pat on the head from the experienced Adrian Morley.
Born in Airedale in Yorkshire, Jack Reed. Family emigrated to Queensland when he was a youngster. The Queensland selectors did ask him to delay opting to play for England. A great boost to Steve McNamara and the England setup that Jack Reed has chosen England, the place where he was born. And there's his parents, proud parents tonight. His girlfriend sitting in front of them as well. Here to see Jack Reed make his international debut. Let's hope it's a long and happy international career for that young man.
Oh, it's a knock-on.
By Jamie Jones-Buchanan, is it?
Just lost control of it at the vital moment.
He looks totally puzzled, Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
I think you'd have to say France have been the better side, haven't they, since that half-time break. There was one attacking play when England came wide and Tom Briscoe got the ball, but you'd be critical after they'd made the overlap and created space. The timing of the support players out wide wasn't sufficient, and we see a very strong crowd here now, hoping that France can find the first score of the second half and maybe form some forward a comeback.
Fantastic crowd in Avignon, just under 17,000 here. Fully justified in bringing this fixture to the south of France.
It's good to see it down here, isn't it? They've brought games to Paris and maybe not worked in the past. We have a professional Super League side down here in the south of France, and bringing the international games down here makes the most sense.
That's a great offload, and this is Vincent Duport. England having to scramble back in defence, and they're looking for numbers to reinforce the back line quickly. Duport gets it out to Ellimer. Ellimer is hauled down by Sinfield.
Want a quick play of the ball, they've virtually got one.
Jean-Philippe Bale, who was involved in that at dummy half. This is Ragan. Now then, what have they got here? They're going down the short side with Ellimer again, who he was clattered after that ball went. And Ryan Hall picks it up for England.
Not so sure about that decision. Thomas Bosk, as the ball was being played, was calling his men on his outside on his right that he was going to put a little kick in. Ball's ended up in the hand of the left second rower, Oliver Ellimer, not a noted kicker. And England return it, but not a bad position for France to try and pin the English back in.
Good work from Ryan Hall in defence. Here goes James Graham, gets a great offload away to Morley. He bullets the pass to Wilkin.
It's been one of the features for England. 17 offloads so far in this game. Just shows you that the coach, Steve McNamara, would be obviously working on that department. They need to do it. Oh, that was a big hit. Roby felt that.
Yes, it was Pelissier and Bosco were involved in that. This is Wilkin. That looks as though it drifted forward, and it was.
Good work from the touch judge. Gave the official, Chechin from Australia, got it right.
And credit to France, the defence prevented England from going forward in the middle. 1 or 2 offloads, they then tried to run it on the last tackle, and that ball's gone forward. Reward now, France get possession inside England's half.
Well, England still have an opportunity on the bench to try and do something about this game. Gareth Widdop has the tracksuit top off. We might see him come into the action very, very soon. Had a great season with the Melbourne Storm, finishing top of the table. Let's see if he can spark up this English side and break this French resistance that we've seen in the 8 minutes of the second half so far.
This is Stakoul again for the French.
Gone through a lot of work, hasn't he? He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's certainly put himself about tonight. Oh, lost control.
David Ferriol just couldn't take that ball in, and Sam Tompkins will come forward with the ball for England. David Ferriol, who has a wine-making company down here in the south of France.
Not a bad drop either, Eddie.
Well,
it's good work.
You
Good
would know all
work,
about
Graham.
that, Steve-O.
True.
Just having a little sample, I understand, last night.
Yep.
This is Tompkins. Great ball again to Briscoe. He's got Yeaman with him. Oh, he just stepped away from the challenge. That was poor defence. That was poor defence. And Briscoe taking full advantage to register his second try of this international here in Avignon tonight.
Well, we knew it was going to be a problem, Eddie. Well before this game, both Bakary and Dupont, not the best defenders in the game of rugby league. I can assure you that that was a gift. Take nothing away, though, from Briscoe getting his second try. Neat work by the fullback, chiming in again. And this is poor. I'm sorry. At least one of them should have gone for the legs. They both tried to bustle him out of it. Beautiful pass, wasn't it, by Sam Tompkins? Should have been stopped. Dupont just brushed away like a fly.
Yes, Tom Briscoe, second try tonight. He's had a great year with Hull. Career best 21 tries this year. And he was ever present in the Super League for the Black and Whites. Very big part of their future, I know, with the new team in charge up there at the KC Stadium. And Kevin Sinfield here with the opportunity to add 2 more points. And while that try was scored, while this conversion is being lined up, I noticed that number 14, Gareth Widdop, has come on to the side, to the field for England, as Sinfield drifts the ball over the posts with a little bit of help from one of the posts. 26-6. There's Gareth Widdop, and his chance now to make a name for himself.
Well, he's come on to replace Sam Tompkins, so we're not so sure yet that he will then play at fullback. He's played for his side in Australia, the Melbourne Storm, primarily as a standoff this season, the vast majority of his game, so quite a radical shift here now in the first game back for England.
Just see Sam Tompkins on the bench talking to Dr. Chris Brooks, the England medical officer, and I'm just wondering, is it a forced change as opposed to tactical change?
Well, I can tell you that Bill can reveal all right now. Bill?
It's precautionary change, no need really to risk a player at this stage with what's ahead for the England side. So Sam Tompkins, who I think has got a knock in the face, that seems to be an area of concern for the England medical team, is sitting on the sidelines, and he's presumably going to be sitting out the rest of this game, wrapped in cotton wool, ready for the real fun, which starts next Friday, of course, with the beginning of the Four Nations.
Indeed so. No point with a 20-point advantage. 11-12 minutes into the second half of risking anyone with what's to come over the next month. Bakary is in the dummy half role again for the French. Will scamper away, but only as far as Ellis and Graham. There's Thomas Bosch. Ferriol drives it on him again.
Solid defence from England. It's been one of the features tonight.
40-20 attempt here, but I think, well, I was going to say it's just going to sail out in the full, but it doesn't. Doesn't quite make the 40-20.
Well, France walk into this scrum, as we see, he's inside the 40, well inside, but I think they're just trying to slow it down, Eddie. They're in no rush to pack this scrum. Mind you, England haven't really got together either.
But they came out in there. The first 10 minutes of that second half, they were the better side, and the try, in fairness, was against the run of play, wouldn't it? From David Ferriol's run from the kickoff, it made such an impact. When a big prop starts like that, it can lift the rest of his team, and the emotion of the event as well. They wanted to start well, to give themselves a chance. But all good teams can stand that pressure, absorb it, and then counter-attack, which is what England did very well, and are looking to again here now is Ryan Hall.
France physical in defence.
Good work as well by the two wingers. Ryan Hall took it up, and then Briscoe and Yeaman. it's good to see that they're making the changes, and I've noticed that Rangi Chase is shouting out the orders. He likes to take charge out there. That's a good pass as well.
It is to Sinfield, goes further wide to Ryan Hall, his Leeds Rhinos teammate. And, Ryan Hall did well to actually pick that ball up almost off his bootlaces. Reed and Sinfield. Jamie Jones-Buchanan, good hands. Morley to Jamie Jones-Buchanan, then to Rangi Chase. Here they come down this left side again. Briscoe's on for the hat-trick. He's on his way into touch, though. Better defence from Vincent Dupont then.
It had to be as well. It looked as though that Briscoe was going to do the tiptoe through the tulips, but again, the man at the helm of it there is Rangi Chase. He's grown in confidence. He was obviously nervous making his debut tonight. You can see the wonderful touches that he's got, creating a lot of work for the three quarters.
I don't know whether it's intentional, but it seems to me Rangi Chase has touched the ball less tonight playing for England than he does for Castleford. Now that might be a plan really for the side, or it might be just be the fact that James Roby and Kevin Sinfield have dictated where the ball's gone more often. But I think he is most dangerous, isn't he, when he gets his hands on the ball as frequently as possible.
Solid run from Simon again. The substitute last week against England Knights as well.
I think Steve McNamara would be quite pleased with the pattern, especially in defence. The French have only made one clean break down the middle. Oh, that's a shocking pass. They've got away with it.
England muscling up in defence again. That's the fourth tackle. Muniz to Bosk. And this now is Ragan.
Fifth and last.
Muniz once again, just inside his own half, kicking for territory, and Widdop across quickly to cut that ball out. That was a bit high then from Simon.
Just to pick up on Phil's point about Rangi Chase, I guess it is a bit different when you come to international. He's the dominant man on the ball at Castleford, the Castleford side. When he's playing in this England side, he's got to get the ball into Sam Tompkins' hands when he's on the field. Kevin Sinfield is want to have his time on the ball, and of course you got James Roby, who's very, very good at picking up and running from dummy half. So I guess it's shared a lot more as we see a breakthrough here.
From Widdop, and it was fed by a pass from that man Rangi Chase, and the pass then did not find Jamie Jones-Buchanan. It's a knock-on against the Englishman, and there's a bit of argy-bargy in the melee that followed.
Well, Jamie Jones-Buchanan claiming he was tackled without the ball. A little bit of remonstration from the England captain, Jamie Peacock. Well, Gareth Widdop with the break, and Jamie Jones-Buchanan following up. Was he tackled before he had the ball in his hands? Well, the referee judged not to, and he's given a knock on. It ultimately means now we get a closer look. It's probably simultaneous, and he's question of a forward pass. France got to bring the ball out now out of their own 20. There's still an opportunity for England to put some pressure on in the defensive role.
Not happy with that decision, Jamie Jones.
Seconds, like hop in. Hop in. Keep an eye on this scrum, boys. Wait there.
So France's head and feed. They lost here to England 7 years ago, 42-4. But they have got impressive wins on this ground since November 2007. They beat Papua New Guinea here, 38-26, and 12 months ago that win against Ireland, 58-24, their biggest victory for 5 years. They like Avignon, do the French national side. No wonder the fans come out in great numbers to support them, and they've had a little bit of success as well.
Got a great little idea, Eddie, of why it's so difficult for the referee. He was in close watching the ruck, what he's used to doing, and he hadn't got time to get back and keep the players back 10. An advocate for the two-referee system.
Well, yes, that's what he's been playing with, of course, all the way through this season in the NRL. 2 referees in the middle. The international, of course, all the internationals controlled by just the solitary man. And the game being played tonight, as will be the 4 nations under international rules, but our viewers back home needn't worry, because basically it's the Super League rules that we will be watching.
Oh, nice offload there. Always there, isn't it, to support James Roby. Tireless.
Chase comes wide to Yeaman again. defence from Chisholm. Briscoe is the dummy half for England, finds Rangi Chase. He gives it then to Wilkin. Stolen from him. More than one in the tackle. And more news on Sam Tomkins, Bill.
Yeah, a bit more light being shed on it by the England camp. Sam Tomkins picked up a bit of a bang on the leg during the playoff run, and still occasionally suffering over the after effects of that. And they've decided that, as I said earlier on, really no point in risking him at this stage of the competition. He wasn't, in fact, that impressed to be taken off. Felt that he wasn't really a concern. He should be still out there carrying on, and he's looking pretty dischuffed standing on the sidelines at the moment.
Well, it's good when players don't want to be replaced and they want to carry on and to play through any pain and niggles that they have. Meanwhile, this is Chase who finds Hyington, and Chris Hyington.
Good strong run.
Good run that was indeed, and he was looking to post a try on his international debut. Westwood just pops it up to Rangi Chase again. He showed it to Morley, took the responsibility himself brilliantly, flicked out the back to Yeaman. Yeaman dabs towards the in-goal area, and I think Stackpool came across, but the referee just wants to check who got a touch on this. I think Stackpool got a hand to it and got it dead, but I think Briscoe's claiming the hat-trick here.
Beautiful kick through by Yeaman, and Briscoe eye on the ball. Stackpool very slow.
I can't hear anything.
No, he's knocked on.
Can you hear? You
That'll
told
be
me
no
not to-
try.
No try, they just have to check how to restart the game. He's onside, so
Be a tap on the 20.
just
Nicely
a knock on.
Nicely done by Kirk Yeaman, wasn't it? Ball right to the line, dropped it on his foot. An opportunity there for Tom Briscoe. We've seen him dot those down plenty of times, but this an occasion. I think the referee will determine that he's knocked the ball on.
Got no sound.
So you restart with a tap on the 20 when you knock on in the in-goal area against England.
20 minutes.
Well, it should be.
Out of the 20. Wait.
He's got it right.
So Briscoe denied his hat-trick try. Might come though yet. And this is 10th appearance for England.
It's been a good combination though, hasn't it? Yeaman and Briscoe. They've worked extremely well tonight.
They really have worked hard down this left-hand side. They have looked impressive. They've been given a lot of opportunity though, of course, by some pretty scrappy defence from the French down this flank.
Still been a good third quarter for France, though, isn't it? Well, they conceded just 6 points since half-time, and I think they've certainly improved. The fact that they played last week, Eddie, has helped them in preparation for this game. This was the big one that they peaked for, wasn't it? And although they haven't been accurate enough, some of their attacking play to score more points, they've been, I think, very resolute in defence.
And I just wonder whether their pride was hurt when England discarded them in the summer and said, look, quite frankly, they don't offer us the opportunity to have a crack at them like the Exiles might, and they've bounced back here and just shown what they can do.
Well, when they played mid-season, they didn't have much time to prepare for it. If you look at this match here, they've had a match to prepare and obviously 2 weeks to build up, and it's made a difference. They've been more competitive.
Maybe the way forward then, do you think, for the French?
Well, and obviously you can't do that mid-season. You can't give them 2 weeks in the middle of the season.
So play these games at the back end of the season as a warm-up to what's to come. And hopefully, in the future, France will be in the Four Nations as well. And that's taking nothing away from Justin Harris or the Welsh. And of course, there is a World Cup coming up in 2013.
Oh, I think everybody'd like to see a strong French side. What we're getting, Eddie, is too much variances in their play. They can be very, very good, but when they switch off, they're very, very bad, as we've seen occasions tonight. Some of the defence has been very, very poor and given themselves no chance, really, of winning the game.
Wilkin with a measured kick down the touchline. Tremendous kick off the left boot of John Wilkin.
Good position, wasn't it? Got himself on that short blind side. No chance of anybody putting him under pressure. Got the kick away. Be quite happy with that, especially with the way that their defence has worked hard. They've gone up as one unit.
.62 minutes of the match gone. England ahead 26-6.
Got a good
Scrum will go down.
Got a good repertoire, haven't they, the band?
You're enjoying the band, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just 9 of this England side, by the way, on duty tonight. They were playing in the international against the Exiles last June. Only 9 of them survive, and of course, Rangi Chase has swapped sides. 6 Super League clubs represented here as well, by the way, plus 3 from the NRL, Melbourne, West and Brisbane. The French getting themselves in a little bit of a tangle, but Pala trying to get them away once again from their own line.
He's shown a few good touches, hasn't he, Matthias Pala? Remember that lovely break in the first half. And again, that is solid defence. They really are working hard. They'll have to, they know that, when they face up to New Zealand and Australia. That is going to be the biggest test for our defence.
Jamal Fakir. Bosch had to get the kick away. He was inside the 40, but Widdop collects it on the first bounce. Runs laterally, trying to get away from Chisholm. They should know a little bit about each other, shouldn't they? Dane Chisholm and Gareth Widdop, both from the Melbourne Storm Club in Australia. Rangi Chase. Not the best pass from Rangi Chase, looking for Yeeman out wide.
Just a little loose now at the moment, Eddie, and it's important that they start focusing. They've got a game next week in the first game of the Four Nations. Like Wales' first game. Destin Harris will have his side fired up. Rangi Chase firing a ball into touch. Kirk Yeeman letting it go. But they need to start building towards next week now. 17 minutes to prepare themselves to take on a Welsh team, as I say, who will be ready to put on a good display in their first ever appearance in the Four Nations tournament.
Yes, it starts Australia, New Zealand next Friday, 7:30 HD1. Continues with highlights of England and Wales on Saturday at 11 HD3. And also in the morning, on Sunday morning at 9:30 on HD4, those highlights. And then don't forget that big double-header that's coming up at Wembley Stadium on Bonfire Night, the 5th of November. Well, 12:30 in the afternoon anyway, first of all, for Wales and New Zealand. And then England-Australia follows. And those 2 games you can enjoy with us on Sky Sports, both of them live, both of them in 3D. The 3D team will be in action. Big day coming up at Wembley Stadium. France lose possession.
Yeah, just a knock on. Look for just one moment there that the French was putting together a few passes, but you can see there that they just dropped it down.
Yeah, Remy Casti went without the ball. Looks a bit disgusted with himself, Remy Casti, who tonight is winning his 15th cap. He says Barry McDermott, by the way, is his favourite player. If Barry is listening and watching at home tonight, as I'm sure he is, he will be delighted with that. What do you say, Steve-O? There's no accounting for taste?
True. I think the French forwards have done okay, you know, and Bobby Goulding, their coach, must feel that just a little bit frustrated because they know that they've been a little bit lax in defence out wide in the 3/4, especially the 2 wingers.
This is Sinfield. Westwood gets away, gives the ball in field to Roby. Now Rangi Chase once again. Not the best pass again, and Roby had to
That'll be a knock on
for that.
Yeah, Roby had lost control of that.
Just a couple of 2 lax little passes from Rangi Chase in the last 5 minutes or so of the game. From the second.
Good hit as well. Batiri went straight into it. So getting a little bit frustrated now, Rangi Chase. Is perhaps at the time, maybe just ask a few more questions of the French defence.
Well, I get the feeling that he feels under pressure, Rangi Chase, like he has to come up with that miracle player that's entertained us so much in Super League this year, and that was maybe the sense of frustration. You saw his face then, disappointed he hasn't come up with the magic pass or the little run and break that's helped him to become one of the main players in the Super League this year.
I think he'd be disappointed with the fact he's put relatively routine passes down or into touch, and he's a lot better than that. But they do need to sharpen up. It's just got a little bit of a lull in the game now, and you'd expect a bit more from England.
And here's a chance for Jean-Philippe Bale.
Good work there by Ryan Hall. Not the big centre. Not easy to put down Jean-Philippe Bale. It's been a tough contest between the forwards, for sure.
Bosch, good hands, Chisholm. He kept the ball going. He got it away to Pala. But England in the shape of Yeeman a little bit of consternation on the terraces with that lift. The kick is easy for Widdop. And he looks to run it from broken play, gets a good pass out wide to Jack Reed. And Reed has got pace to burn. He gets away from Bosk. He's danced his way all the way through. This is a fabulous try from Jack Reed on his international debut. Wonderful try, wonderful try from the man with the Australian accent, but born in Airedale in Yorkshire. And look what it means to the family. Well, that has lit up this evening.
Certainly
really
has. It was a wonderful play first by Gareth Widdop. And once he gets through, stepping past two defenders, got the ball out wide. And what a great finish on his debut. He'll be happy with that.
A try that was fashioned in the NRL, this, when you look at it again, as I'm sure we will in a second. Jack Reed.
The kick was a little bit too deep. It was quite easy for Widdop to diffuse. Here's a kick from Thomas Bosk. Just a touch too far. No one to put the pressure on him. But watch this kid. In and out. Nice. Oh, great style. Got good balance. Gets it away. He knows how to finish, this guy. Should have done better. Nice little step. He knows it's there. What a debut. To score a try for your new country. Fantastic. Boy, did they enjoy that. And I tell you what, Eddie, so did I.
Just a second or so ago, Sinfield added the extras from bang in front, and England now lead by 32 points to 6.
I think the more impressive and possibly most important thing from Jack Reed tonight is the way he's tackled the players when they run at him. He's put himself into the right position. His spatial awareness is excellent, and I think that's the biggest test that England will face, both right and left centre. Whoever's selected in those positions is managing to counteract, although the referee says here a knock-on in goal from Kevin Sinfield. I thought it went backwards.
I think it may have touched the dead in goal line. Be interested to see the replay on this. He's a bit confused.
Well, he got the call, I think, from his touch judge out wide.
That's going backwards.
Oh, grounded in goal, sorry. It's grounded in goal, sorry. Yep.
Well spotted by the officials. Not too impressed. Kevin Sinfield. And the officials have got it absolutely right. Oh, look at the red jerseys coming at this one. And the first one up there is James Graham.
It was Jamal Fakir who was running at him. Graham just stood his ground. 10 minutes to go. He's lost
Got to
that.
be a penalty. Messing around. See when he pulls the arm away, loses control, does Batiri.
I don't think James Roby's made a pull at that ball. I really don't. I think it's contentious, I know, and we could open up a big debate, but the responsibility, in my opinion, is on the ball carrier there. James Roby didn't make any effort to try and stop.
Oh, how about that from Pelissier?
I told you he was a talent.
He is a talent, but that was weak English defence. They really will have to become more aware from restarts like that in the weeks that come ahead.
They went to sleep, Eddie, and well played, the youngster. Pelissier took full advantage. That's lifted the crowd, has lifted the French outfit as well.
Well, it's a double header for Pelissier, with a try last week and a try this week against England. The Knights last week, the senior side tonight. There's the contentious penalty for some.
Just through the dummy, went straight through. And I'm with you, Eddie, they've got to be a lot more alert. They can't afford to do that at the start of the Four Nations. It was just a simple dummy. And he found himself into the in-goal area. Well taken.
Well, they really have to switch on, don't they, in defence at international level. And Pelissier, 2 tries in as many weeks, tried his international debut last week.
Well, Steve McNamara will not be happy with that. I think the outcome was, I'm sure, at the half-time, said, look, we'll start playing a lot better, but we want to make sure our defence is solid. We don't want to allow them to score. And he'll be furious over that one.
So now then, here comes Thomas Bosk to try and add the extras. And Thomas Bosk does exactly that. the scoreline moves on to. Interesting, Edouard Pellissier was only handed professional forms by the Catalan Dragons in January of this year. What a fantastic season he has had.
Well, it's part of the reason Trent Robinson's been so successful this year, because he's identifying young French players and giving them an opportunity. And I suspect that the Catalan Dragons will be an even more difficult team next year to beat, because the French players that here have certain potential, and he's able to release that potential on the Super League stage.
Well, the French have just got a little bit of encouragement from that, and so they should. But I think you will agree with us, Phil. England have got to switch on in defence in situations like that.
Well, the biggest difference between playing in a club match and playing an international match is the test of concentration. Every single second you need to be thinking where you need to be stood in the right position, and on that occasion, for the split second, England weren't.
Here they come again. That's another great ball, and this is Vincent Duport. He's got Widdop to beat. He beats Widdop, and Duport will go in for a try for France. 2 in 2 minutes.
What about Pelissier's contribution to that, Eddie? He scored a try, he's run up and put a beautiful short ball on, and what a finish it was from the big man. Well, he must have gone 80 yards, Steve-O.
Super try, wasn't it? And the pass was superb. I'm not so sure the attempt by Gareth Widdop was of the highest quality. We've been very critical about the French, sometimes with their defence, but I'm afraid Widdop was beaten all ends up. It was just the short pass, wasn't it, in the build-up to it. Got it away here. What's that little pass here? Bang. Straight through, and the big fella, oh, look at him go. Not the best from Mr. Widdop, but what a finish. Well, it's certainly lit up this stadium. Great stuff again.
Look at his face, he knew that he was going to score that try the moment the ball reached him. And he adds the extras as well. There's Thomas Bosch, and suddenly it doesn't look as good as it did 2 minutes ago. No, 2 tries in quick succession.
Huge contribution from the number 14 for France. Starts off at the dummy half position, gets in and takes a short offload, runs across, and what a beautiful line Vincent Duport hits. Gareth Widdop will be disappointed he didn't perhaps make a better effort on the big man. But a great try, and the French coach Bobby Goulding on the sideline, he's incredibly animated. He will be delighted with the performance they're putting in the last few minutes of this game.
So here comes that man again. Pellissier is grabbed and scragged to the ground by Yeeman.
It's certainly been one of the big finds, hasn't it?
He has this year,
yeah.
Without a doubt. But there's 2 big red lights flashing in defence for England in the last 5 minutes of this test match against the French.
To be fair, Eddie, the pass was superb, but that's not the best, is it?
It isn't. Sinfield pounces on the loose ball.
Ooh, and you can see Jean-Philippe Bale tried to reef that ball away one-on-one, did well. Sinfield to hang on there. Now then, we need a response from the England side. Ooh, that looked like an elbow, certainly, from Casti.
And I think, well, the referee has given the penalty for the strip. Casti gets to his feet, and Peacock just has a little wipe of the face.
With the elbow. Not seen by the official. That
6 minutes to go.
Could have been very dangerous, that.
Sinfield, chase. Widdop trying to make amends. Stabs the ball looking for Briscoe. And they just have to shuttle the ball over the dead ball line. I think it was Chisholm who got to it first with the run.
Here he lost the cameraman here as well, Eddie, I think.
Very close. Right, let's get down to Bill.
Eddie, England got to beware they don't get suckered into a bit of a scrap late on here, mainly because of Remy Casti, because he really has been putting himself about. We saw that incident a moment ago with Jamie Peacock when he came in very high, and just a moment before that, he and James Graham were having a head-to-head, and England don't need that. The French are looking for it.
No, they don't. This is Peacock now for England. The captain's back out there for the final 3 minutes. Roby, Chase. Seen a lot of the ball tonight to Chase. With it, his pass found Yeaman. Yeaman
lost control of it
forward.
Just a little bit scrappy. I just get the feeling that when England raced to a 32-6 lead, they've virtually taken the foot off the brake, and I'm afraid accelerated, can I say?
Put the foot on the brake, Steve.
And they've allowed the French side to sort of get back into this game.
Well, there's only going to be one winner with 2.5 minutes to go, but it's a debate for later when we analyse what's happened here tonight, whether this is good enough, bearing in mind what's to come. It is their first hit out together, let's not forget that.
Yeah, that's a major factor, Eddie, but having played well in the first half, especially the close of the first half, I think it's a disappointing second half from England. French have stood up, but I think that's a lot England have let them in. England were very scrappy in that period. Balls going into touch, balls being dropped on the ground, and that's allowed the French to come back into it and show their Super League class on the international stage.
Chip over the top is picked up by Hyington, and the assembled media here tonight have named that man, Rangi Chase, as the man of the match. We'll obviously be talking to him, hopefully, at the end of this match, about his man of the match debut for England. I must say, I'm not convinced. Could have been a few other candidates in red, but they've given it to Rangi. It's the assembled media who are here. It has got nothing to do with us.
Well, that was a little bit sloppy there by England. It's very rare you find James Roby offloaded the ball without looking at the man who's going to get it, and that's what he did on that occasion. That's back to 6, it went backwards, and that'll be play on again.
Here we go, the last hurrah from France.
Well, Rangi's won the man of the match, and he's thrown a little right hook.
Didn't like it. Is it Bakary? He just had a little dig at.
Oh, play the ball, you got 40 seconds to try and score again.
Here it comes.
Oh,
boom. Wasn't a bad one, yeah.
It was Bakary. He was quickly up off the floor.
I'm okay. I got it.
Well, as Bill mentioned, it got a little bit tasty. We could do without it as well.
Off you go. Go over there. Come on. Off you go, behind the line, boys.
I think he's complaining that, let's just say that the tackle was different. Bakary didn't like it. Should be a penalty to France for the retaliation from this man, Rangi Chase.
We all thought the same one, okay? There's no need for that. There's 4 minutes to go. Let's keep going with the game. It's a great game. We've still got time out, boys.
So penalty to France. Words in the ear of Rangi Chase, and he can't believe that the penalty's been given against him.
A little bit of the frustration maybe that Phil was talking about earlier. It will be better for the hit out, Eddie, tonight. It's a lot of pressure and emotion involved in Rangi Chase making his appearance for England tonight.
Full-time siren sound. Dead in the background, and Hyington collects the chip over the top, and let's hope it just does not get nasty. As the referee, you might have heard him in the background say, look, we've had a great game, let's not spoil it. Move away, shake hands. England go home and move on to what's to come for them in the Four Nations. The French will face Ireland and Scotland in the European Championship in the weeks ahead. England have won by 32 points to 18, coasting at 32-6 after 68 minutes. But Pelissier and Duport with the tries late in the game have just given England and their coach Steve McNamara a little bit of a wake-up call for what is to come over the next month or so. They cannot fall asleep like that in defence when they face the Kiwis, the Aussies, or indeed Wales next weekend.
I think for the first knockout, I think that Steve McNamara knows that, especially just before the half-time break, their set pattern moves was quite impressive. And it cut the French defence apart. But a little bit sloppy in this second stanza.
Bobby Goulding shaking hands with all his English friends and former colleagues. There's the England skipper, Jamie Peacock, with Bill.
Jamie, the look on your face seems to suggest a bit of frustration with maybe the way the game got from your grip in the second half.
Yeah, we were probably in charge of the game at half-time, and then come out and probably had too many unforced errors and allowed the French a lot of ball, so the errors in the end, the last 10 minutes or so.
What was that down to? Foot off the gas, a bit of complacency?
Nah, it's not to do with that. I thought we had good attitude. We just came up with too many errors. You could see the attitude was there, perhaps except for the last try. Just too many errors. You just can't do it at this level. That's something we need to work on next week.
So it was good in parts, perhaps?
Yeah, it was good in parts. You saw that. We know that as players, but we're going to have to improve. It was always going to be difficult here, I think, after the way France played last week, and they played better today, but we allowed them to do that.
Jamie, you obviously go away and work on things next week before the game against Wales. It's going to be a big week, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a big week. It's a big tournament we're entering now, and we can only improve each week, and that's what we're going to have to do this week with training and how we play against the Welsh.
Thanks, Jamie.
Cheers, Bill. Thank you.
Well, big night for Jack Reed. Debut, try as well, and when you got away there, that was made your night probably.
Yeah, a lot of errors in my game, but a lot to work on. Scoring a try on debut's massive honour, and yeah, we've just got to work on it for next week.
I was watching when you came back from the first try, you'd given the pass to Ryan Hall. Were a few butterflies when you got the ball in your hand and you knew what was coming?
Yeah, knew the play was coming. I didn't want to force an error in our first set, but luckily Winger held off a bit and I could get it to Hawley easy enough.
But as Jamie's just said there, you can't overlook the fact that there were 1 or 2 errors out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a lot of errors. I think it come down to we were a bit over-enthusiastic. We wanted to get the ball in our hands and run our plays, whereas we should have just got forward and completed our sets.
Mum and Dad, girlfriend up there in the stand, could you hear them cheering you on when you're going in for that try?
Yeah, I heard them a bit early in the game, so I knew they were floating around somewhere, so it's an absolute honour to have my family here on my debut, so I'm over the moon.
Well done tonight, Jack.
Thank you very much.
Well done tonight, Rangi Chase as well, another debutant, man of the match as well. But you get the feeling that, maybe 1 or 2 people, well, maybe the team in general, conscious of the fact that there's work to be done before the real fun starts.
Yeah, exactly. It was first time we got in a game situation there, and we showed what we can do. We just need to just stay calm at times and just get through it, get to our sets and just complete them and get into the arm wrestle and build some momentum, because at times there we look like we're going to roll some more points on them and we just killed ourselves there.
You think you're guilty of maybe trying to score on virtually every play?
Yeah, I think, we were just too keen at the start there, just trying to throw it out for the miracle ball there. All we need to do is just complete and get some momentum.
Also 1 or 2 defensive gaps, which you can't afford against the likes of the Kiwis and the Aussies.
Yeah, exactly. We've got some work to do there in the next few weeks. Just credit to France. I mean, they threw the ball around and they get in you and they have a go. So it's difficult to defend because you don't know what's going to come up against you. So we've got some work to do there.
And you're well done tonight. Thanks.
Just like to say hello to the Holmes family at home. See you tomorrow.
Rangi Chase, before him Jack Reed. Rather surreal, isn't it, to hear accents like that wearing an England jersey, but they are English internationals. They have played their full part in this win in the south of France against a gutsy French team. 32-6, England were coasting after the Jack Reed try, but then Pélissier and Duport came up with 2 tries of their own that gave the scoreline a somewhat lopsided